So it is such a peaceful afternoon, and I'm just going to have a cup of tea. Can I film and pour my tea? I did. Hooray. Okay. So here are three of the poetry books I've been working with this week. On the right is a very old volume of poems by William Cowper that I got years ago in a charity shop. It's great. Then the Virago Book of Spirituality has a lot of readings and poems about different spiritual subjects and sort of religion and love, and it's a bit esoteric. Anyway, it's super as well. And then I've got this illustrated anthology of fairy poems now. I have just recently got this and it's been really useful because I love fairies now. I promise not all the poems I'm doing are about fairies, but there's been a lot of poems in this book which I actually didn't know. I mean, a lot of them I knew, but some of them were new to me, and that was really lovely. So that was a good thing about this week. Ah, yes. So that's kind of where I've been with that. Cup of tea, I think. So I'm going to really try and look at the right bit of the phone. I don't feel I'm very good at this, but oh gosh, I look strange. Oh well, I'll just try and actually ignore the phone and just sort of talk. Yes, I've been doing a lot of recording over these holidays, and that's been really nice. I would say that art and poetry are two things that often make me feel kind of guilty. I love them, but I wish I knew more about them, and I wish I had the time to learn more about them. So earlier this year, I did go to the art gallery and I made a few little films about different paintings that I really loved at the Tate Gallery in London. And then I'm now doing these poems, and that's been great. Oh, wow, I'm looking at the wrong bit. Is it here? I don't know. Oh, look, if this looks weird, I'm sorry. Um, anyway, so yes, these doing a poem for every day of April, and I think possibly after April too. I think I'm going to do some more. Has been really lovely. I've had quite a bad cold recently, so I've been getting over that. So I tended to concentrate on quite short poems, but obviously ones that I liked. But you know, they're none of them are very long. Most of them are about a minute. So I'm hoping that, you know, people will be happy to look at things that are just a minute long, and that's great. Ooh, sip of tea. Other than that, well, I've been enjoying Netflix. I'm enjoying very much The Fall of the House of Usher. And again, funny link to poetry. I'm quite happy that I'm able to recognize quite a lot of references in the series because of all the Edgar Allan Poe poems that I've done for my YouTube. So that's great. Yes, it's always good when you kind of learn something more and you feel you've moved on. That's a nice feeling. It's a really scary modern day adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe, and I must say I think it's wonderful there are so many female characters, because although I love the original Fall of the House of Usher, there's one female character called Madeline who's the sister of the central usher guy, and she dies young. And doesn't have a lot of a part, though the lady that played her in the original 1950s movie, she's beautiful and, you know, made a wonderful job of that role. But still, it's a shame when there's less women. So in this series, that's not the case at all. I've also been enjoying looking at that series about Andy Warhol's life. Amazing man. It's reminded me of when I went to New York a few years ago before COVID, and it was just amazing to see New York finally, because I it's another thing rather like poetry and art. I always felt I should go to New York. Why haven't I gone to New York? It's a bit poor, but you know, just finances and life, I just never got round to it. And I will say that although I love New York, it's very expensive. My goodness, yes. Costs a lot, everything there. Mind you, I'd go again in a heartbeat. And I loved Central Park, and you know, I loved the meatpacking district where I was staying at the Jane Hotel, and I loved going around Greenwich Village and Manhattan and Fifth Avenue and oh, the High Line. I'm just remembering it all. Anyway, where was I? Yes, the Andy Warhol documentary has just been bringing all that back to me, and maybe I'll get to go to New York again soon. That would be great. I remember I was attending a film festival in Greater New York. It was the New York Family Film Festival, Christian Family Film Festival, and I was taking there a short film that I directed called John Tregenoweth His Mark. and it was selected in the festival, and we won a merit award. So that was amazing, and it was in a little town outside of Buffalo called, oh, this is terrible. The name of the town is so pretty, but I can't remember what it's called. Oh goodness. It will come back to me. In fact, I'll put it on the screen. And yeah, that festival was wonderful. Upstate New York. I didn't know New York was so huge. It's a vast state. I mean, New York City is just a tiny part of it. I remember I walked around Buffalo a little bit too, and yeah, it was lovely. It was near Jamestown. That's where I was staying. I was staying at the Comfort Inn in Jamestown. But being in New York, what electricity, what energy. I remember I went to Times Square and saw the sign saying "Give my regards to Broadway," and that was amazing. Seems rather a long way away now, but you never know. I could go back there soon. Yeah, so I've been enjoying those things on Netflix. I've been doing my poems. I met up with some friends over the holidays, and that's been really lovely. And yeah, the poems I've been doing are many of them about spring and coming back to spring. Oh, I'm going to have another sip of my tea. Excuse me. And of course, it is spring, so that's really why I wanted to do as many spring poems as I could find. It is always amazing when the seasons change and spring comes back. Although we know it will. I mean, I suppose for people in the past, certainly if you were in the Middle Ages or even, in Victorian times, it was so hard to heat your home and life was so brutal that spring must have absolutely seemed like a miracle. So many people got ill in the cold weather, and it was a harsh time, I guess. Um, and a lot of the poems also that I've been doing seem to be about the subject of time, which is also pertinent to everybody. I mean, we all know that time passes really quickly. You've got to really use time well. I'm really glad that in this holiday, although I was a bit tired and I've had a cold, I did persevere and do all the work that I did, and I did all the things I did. I fitted in everything in when it would have in a way been quite tempting to just lie on the sofa. So I'm glad I didn't do that. I used the time well. And yeah, that's true. I remember once I was reading this kind of esoteric book, and it said that time doesn't always pass at the same speed. Sometimes an hour passes more slowly than at other times. Now, they had no scientific evidence for this, but I must say I thought that seemed kind of true because, okay, they say time goes quickly when you're having fun, and it also goes quickly when you have a great deal to do and not much time to do it in. Then the time seems to fly by. But there are some lovely days that do linger on, and there are some difficult days that go past quickly. And so I personally think that it might be true. I think time might move at different speeds. I'm a bit of a hippie, I'm prepared to give a lot of these strange theories a sort of consideration. But I do feel time sort of bends, and time is not always at the same speed. And this year has sort of, in a way, been about beginnings and endings for me. I've lost some people that were very close to me. I don't want to sort of be morbid or go on and on about it. But it's true, and these times come to everybody, and it's just hard. And for me, every week that pushes forward feels like an improvement, and it feels like I've kind of taken another step forward in embracing today and embracing the fact I don't have these people anymore, and being grateful for what they did give me when they were here, which was a lot. These times of transition, they come to everybody. But it's, gosh, when someone dies, there's so much administration to do. Every time I think I've signed every paper, I've done everything I needed to do, you get another thing in the post, or another reminder of what you've got to do. I'm going to start another cup of tea, excuse me. Yes, it just goes on and on. I will say briefly, my mum passed away. And for example, recently they sent a poll card for her to vote in the election, and I'm going to have to go online and explain that she's passed away. And you know, that's fine. I feel that, as with many old people, my mum was so frail. Her life was really very difficult, and that it was time for her to go. And I'm really grateful that we had so much time together, and that you're happy for all the good times. You know, I've been going over all the photographs of things that were nice and thinking, yeah, we did a lot, and it was good, and it's time to just move on and keep her in my heart, which I will do. So what about next week? Well, I'm going to be going to a conference for a charity that I am very close to my heart, called Hope UK. It's a drug education charity, and they have their annual conference next week. So I will try and do a little bit of filming there, see what that's like. I've not been able to go to this conference for quite a few years, so it will be really nice to go there again. And yeah, I'm just going to carry on doing more of the same stuff, more recording. I'm getting ideas for films that I can do. This first part of the year has been a bit clogged up because you may know, if you follow my channel, that my microphone stopped working and I had to send it to Germany to be repaired. Thankfully, it has come back now. It's working beautifully, so thank goodness. But with everything that's happened and having no microphone, this year has sort of been very sort of delayed, and now I feel I'm starting to kind of run on again and get things moving again. So that's really good. And yeah, I think this week when I went to see my friend, I walked for like 2 or 3 miles, took a quite sturdy walk, and I noticed I felt so much better afterwards. So I'm going to try and take some good walks this week, take the time, and yeah, just enjoy the beautiful spring day and see what the future has to bring, and just take each day as I find it, which is all that we can do. Another thing that the poems I was looking at pointed out was that, you know, life may not be perfect, you may not be perfect, things may not be perfect, but you just do the best you can. And of course we all know that, but it's interesting that even, you know, hundreds of years ago, other writers, other people were thinking the same thing, and with much less certainty and security that we have now. So I'll try and think if I've got anything more to add. Maybe not. I'm so grateful to everyone that follows my YouTube channel. I really want to do more content of all kinds. There's so many things I'm interested in. If you like my shorts, I'm going to keep doing shorts. If you hopefully like my poems, or you give them a chance, that would be great. I will do more poems, but I will also do more vlogs like this, and I will keep in touch with what I'm doing. And also I want to go on some really nice outings this summer and film them and see how they do. The truth is, there's no guarantees with something like YouTube. I'm an actor, there's no guarantees in acting. So you just put out the best you can and see what happens, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's just nice to have an outlet, and indeed, for an actor, YouTube is an amazing blessing because you have a place that you can perform. You can make a little film, a production of your own, whether someone else is employing you or not. At the moment, with kind of oh gosh, look at my fringe. Ugh. Ooh. At the moment, with my mum's estate and with life sort of moving on, I've not really wanted to pursue acting so thoroughly. I've also, as you said, been very busy with all the kind of admin and stuff. But, you know, once things settle down, once I push on, I will be reapplying to auditions and getting on with things. And yeah, I think that it's been a rough start to the year. And if you're in that situation, I feel for you. But hopefully the rest of the year is going to be really good. And yeah, a lot to be grateful for, a lot to look forward to, and I think that will probably do it for today. So if you've watched to the end of this vlog, thank you very much. I'll try and improve all the time, and yes, see you next time. Bye bye. I must have one of these chocolates. I forgot all about them. Let's see. Oh, maybe this one. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. Goodbye.